weighing 157 pounds, 157 libras. His professional record, 97 victories, 11 defeats. He has 67 knockouts. A four-time world champion, el hijo de la República de Panamá, manos de piedra, Roberto Duran. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the Tiger-style trunks. He weighs in at the middleweight limit of 160 pounds. His professional record, 59 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw. He has 29 knockouts. El hijo de Bayamón, Puerto Rico, now making his home in the magic city of Orlando, Florida, a 3-time world champion and current IBC welterweight champion, Hector Camacho. 12 rounds for the IBC middleweight championship of the world.
Hector, ya yo le di las instrucciones en el camerino a los dos. Quiero una pelea limpia. Obedezcan mis instrucciones y muy importante, protéjase en todo momento. Desen la mano, por favor. La mano, choca la mano. Choca la mano. Choca la mano.
Toca.
Ok, that's it.
Yeah, the games have begun. Yeah, a lot of hatred from Hector Camacho. He also is really fired up for this.
Right away you would notice Camacho get on his bicycle and start moving.
Since his loss to Felix Trinidad, last 2 years, Camacho has had 15 fights. He's won them all, but against well-handpicked opponents. And this is the first fight for Camacho that he has actually felt the anxiety before a fight. Roberto Duran, who turned pro in 1967 at the age of 15, 118 pounds. And at that year, Hector Camacho was celebrating his 4th birthday. You never really thought you would see these two fighters in the ring together. Their primes never crossed, never at the same weight at the same time.
What Duran is doing is trying to measure Camacho. He's trying to get that right hand in. See what he's doing now, working that. He's trying to par with the left jab and gain the range in order to drop his right hand.
Oh yeah, remember that right hand from Reyes Cruz that we saw out? The
Yes.
only time Hector Camacho has been down to the canvas. Camacho started his career at 127 pounds back in 1980. Picked up a 4-round win over David Brown.
Camacho comes in with the left hand. Camacho, the only time he was down, Reyes Cruz back in 1988, but that doesn't faze Roberto Duran because Vinny Pacienza had never been down before he met Roberto.
Yeah, very hard puncher, sharp right hook. Now these southpaw fighters are very unusual to fight. Their punches come at you differently. And there's another right hook that lands from Camacho. Again, a pesky, kind of not really a hard punch, a slapping right hand from Hector Camacho.
What Camacho wants to do, and in fact he's doing it, he's trying to keep Duran off balance with that left, with his right jab actually, because he's a southpaw. And I'm sure he's noticed that boxers really give Duran a tough time. The movement doesn't allow Duran to set up and throw his combinations.
Oh yeah, what a puncher, any puncher needs is to sit still and punch. There's a straight left.
A straight left by Camacho.
Camacho says that's his best punch. His style now, he says, more relaxed and more seasoned. That's why he says I can get in the ring with the fighters like Roberto Duran, the legends of the world. Roberto Duran said about Hector Camacho, who is Hector Camacho for me not to knock out? He is looking for a KO tonight. He says of his style, rough, tough, and aggressive, best punch for Roberto is a left hook.
See what's happening here. Camacho is trying to make Duran match his speed, which Duran can't do that. This particular sequence here is more so in the favor of Camacho because of Camacho hand speed.
Duran says Camacho can't knock me out. He has no fear of Camacho's punching power.
Vamos, respira afuera, saca esa aire. Saca esa aire. Mira, Rob, hay que empujarlo para atrás, jugando a él con esa iniciativa. Tú empújalo a él. Ok, jugando vivo todo el tiempo. Estamos bien.
Everything is fine, though. Don't worry.
Tú empújalo para él con tu llave, jugando vivo, jugando vivo.
You need to use your jab more. Just keep him moving back.
Su ritmo, no lo dejes su ritmo. Vamos. Respira fuerte, saca ese aire. Eso.
All right, you need to respirate.
Relájate, eso es.
Open up.
Eso ahí está bien. Vamos, tira.
He's talking more about his posture on the ring than anything else.
Ya le damos el primer asalto. Vamos a pelearle ahora a él.
All right, now he showed a little bit of something, but we're going to show him something back now. Now is your time. We're ready to
Vamos,
go.
Roberto.
Go ahead, Roberto.
So the corner of Roberto Duran actually admitting that it was Hector to Camacho coming up a pretty good round.
Yeah, but it was still early, and also they said in the corner, you've got something for him, deliver it now. And Duran comes out with the right hand. Duran, 31 KOs in the first 3 rounds.
See, Duran is trying to drop that right hand in there, but he can't do it because he really can't get set because of the unorthodox style of Hector Camacho.
Yeah, a nice jab from Camacho. That right hand doing a lot of damage, frustrating Duran.
Oh! And there's the left hand.
Camacho staying on the outside of Duran's left foot. And see, that's why it's so difficult for Duran to maintain his balance when he throws his punches, and that's why he's throwing and landing those left hands.
At the heavier weight, Camacho in the last 2 years, in his 15 wins, 8 have been by knockout. He had a total of 7 knockouts over the previous 9 years. So he has been setting down a little more on his punches and gaining some more power.
Yeah,
and that combined with the quickness is really throwing Roberto in the first couple of rounds.
You know something, speed is power in boxing. He's trying to punch harder too consciously. More on balance. Was relying on speed, but now he's relying on the speed and the power.
What Camacho is trying to do to Duran is to frustrate him. He's trying to hit Duran and not allow Duran to hit on his back.
Yeah, and then tie up on the inside like this.
And what happens when he ties up Duran, it breaks Duran's rhythm. So Duran has to start all over again. You'll notice each time that they get close, Camacho will tie Duran up.
Yeah, very wisely ties up Roberto Duran.
See here? Now he'll back off and skip that jab back in Duran's face.
67 KOs of his 97 wins. The man knows how to crack. There's a cracking right hand from Roberto. Roberto trying to close the gap of the two there.
Big shots by Camacho.
And the movement of Camacho.
Camacho feels Duran's going to try to load up. But Hector says once I start sticking him with those hard jabs that he feels Duran will freeze up like Chavez did against De La Hoya. And Camacho feels the weight loss of Duran will take its toll. Again, it's Duran shaking. He looks at the mat as if he slipped over something, but it appeared as if it was the Camacho punch.
I think he tripped over Camacho's straight left.
And
yeah,
also,
actually not a solid shot.
It's tough to stay on balance, and Sean can attest to this, the southpaw.
Southpaws, yeah, the angles are just different to you. The punches come at you differently. Also, the southpaw fighters move differently. Oh, yeah.
2 rounds down, Hector Camacho taking control very early, but I think the biggest question right now, I know of Sean O'Grady, he wants a fashion assessment from John Saraceno. John?
Tiger suit look.
Al, when it comes to haute couture in boxing, nobody has a leg up on Hector Camacho. Those tiger stripes cost $15,000. I prefer to think of it more of as a Giorgio Armani nightmare myself. Back to you, Al.
All right, that comes to about $1,000 a stripe. He's earning his stripes here tonight. And look who he has in his corner, Jesse Reed.
Trying to counter you coming out.
First
and
time
when you're
with
inside,
Camacho.
don't wrestle with him. Start pumping them hands on him. He can't handle the speed. So hit him with 4 or 5 shots.
Great motivator.
Great.
Oh, yeah, outstanding trainer, too. Jesse Reed understands styles.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Stay here.
Reed loves the speed.
Jesse Reed also handles Orlando Canizales and one of the great boxing stories, Ansi Gideon, among others.
Oh, yeah, and this is focus. This is the focus that Hector Camacho must maintain through 12 rounds.
Do you believe what you just saw, Ray? Hector Camacho pushing Roberto Duran around.
He outweighs him.
Well, he's heavier. He's a lot heavier, and I think he's a lot stronger than Duran at this particular weight.
Are you surprised, Ray, that Duran has not launched a body attack?
Well, you know what, Sean? I think it's just so difficult for Duran to really get inside and to land a punch with some leverage, proper leverage. He can't get his balance.
Yeah. And also the southpaw stance.
The southpaw stance is really making it quite difficult for Duran. Because every time he goes in there, he runs into a left hand of Camacho.
Yeah, as these rounds wear down, you might get glove shy, didn't you? Whoa. Good combination from Camacho. Duran comes back.
It's been 5 years since Hector Camacho has worn a world title belt. 7 years since Duran has.
Swing and a miss from Camacho. It takes more out of a fighter to swing and miss than to swing and hit. Duran's been missing Camacho. Camacho needs to make Duran miss him. Score and then move from Camacho. He won't sit down. Duran trying to cut the ring off. See him step over?
That's what Duran has to do.
Yeah.
Every time he gets close to Camacho, throw those shots to the body, to the midsection.
There it is in there. And make him fight. Wrestle with him in there as much as Tony Perez, the referee, will let you. Make him physically tired. Let him feel that extra pound. Good right hand to the body. Against the southpaw fighters, a real straight right hand to the body works very effectively. And you can also bring in a wide sweeping left hook. There it is again.
My most effective punch against the southpaw was an overhand right, because the guys can't see it.
Yeah,
they don't see it coming.
They're sitting ducks for it.
Ray, when you went in against Duran, what was always your #1 priority?
Well, the first play was disaster. Oh, good right hand by Duran. The name of the game against Roberto Duran was keeping him off balance. And right now, things starting to turn around here because Camacho is a little more flat-footed, and Duran is starting to dictate the tempo of the fight.
And the crowd chanting, Duran, Duran. Predominant Roberto Duran following in the crowd. So Duran coming back somewhat in the third round.
Yeah, Duran was so confident in his fight. He trained so hard that he brought 16 people from Panama to see him in this fight. 16 of his friends, he paid their way.
Beat him on the outside.
Well, we saw Shaquille O'Neal at ringside moments ago. Among the celebrities tonight, the rap artist Brooklyn Zoo on Cold Chillin' Records. And the great Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio. Big fight fan, and he is enjoying this one at ringside. Right. Round number 4. Hector Camacho, 59-3-1. Roberto Duran, 97-11. Camacho getting the jab out there. Really annoyed, frustrated. Duran in the first 2 rounds. Duran's best round, number 3.
Yeah, in that third round, he was able to land at will with that left hook. He also did some very important body pounding. Trying to slow down the speed of Camacho. See these punches from Camacho? They're meaningless for Duran. They're just wipes. They're trying to keep Duran's eyes busy, trying to keep him out of bay. Look at these punches from Duran. The intensity on these shots, they are very hard.
Trying to cut off the ring.
Watch the body. You know, even Duran threw a punch to the legs of Camacho to slow him down.
Oh, and that hurts too. That way hitting the legs, it gives you a muscle cramp.
You would notice less and less movement from Camacho because those shots to the midsection, to the legs, would eventually slow your man down.
What you are seeing in the ring tonight are two pros who know the game, the science of the game. That's something that kept Larry Holmes in boxing for so long, understanding the young fighters, not complete fighters, and saw how he could take advantage. And I'm sure, you know, Ray, you hear it all the time about coming back, and so do you, Sean. I mean, you take a look at some of the young fighters today, and you have to salivate when you see how you might be able to pick them apart, even though they're younger and perhaps a little more energy in the ring.
Well, what a lot of those guys lack is its overall experience, ring generalship, being a technician, being patient.
Yeah, at this level, fighters can change second by second, and it takes a long time for a young fighter to get into this classification of boxer. These are two real warriors.
Every opportunity Roberto Duran gets, he goes to the body.
Oh, the two banged heads after a right hand from Duran. That hurt Camacho. Oh, that hurt Camacho. Hector Camacho in his fights with Felix Trinidad and Julio Cesar Chavez, he said in those fights he was too defensive. In tonight's fight, he doesn't want to be so defensive. And he also wants to learn how to face those top-level fighters without being so defensive.
You look at Sean, I noticed that Camacho's mouth is wide open, which indicates fatigue.
Well, for good reason. He has been extremely busy.
Which he said was what Duran would be experiencing around this time. And now blood from around that right eye of Camacho.
You can beat the, no, it's not even swollen. All right, it's just a little blackness underneath and a little crack, nothing serious. Some grease. Hector, in and out. Feints, more feints. You're not feinting enough, draw him into those things. And you're looking good when you pull him in and suck him in and then pop and move. Don't stay in with him and wrestle now. Start using the angles on him, okay, like we do in the gym. 3 and 4 jab hard to the body. I like the way you're going to the body, but put both hands to it. Pop, pop, you're working him good. But don't wrestle with him, all right? All right, give me another good round now. Real good with your jab, okay?
Jesse Reed gets his fighter's attention.
Oh, he is a terrific trainer. He understands styles. And what he's trying to do is get Camacho to throw more jabs and to feint on the outside. You have to make a fighter like Duran who needs to commit with his punches. You have to make him commit and then smack him.
Doesn't want Camacho to wrestle inside with Duran. Duran, in 29 years of fighting, has all the little tricks. What are a few of them we may see if he tries to get inside with Camacho, Ray?
Well, I know from self-experience that Duran is also pretty good with his head. I don't know whether that's intentional, but every now and then he inadvertently will use his head. The elbow, but that was Duran of the old. I mean, Duran when he was young, he was pretty dirty. Now he's a complete boxer, complete clean.
Oh, and that shot brings the crowd to life, and also Duran. Roberto Duran feeling it now. He has turned it around.
Yeah, and look now how you see a different Hector Camacho, too. Extremely defensive now.
The talk was Roberto Duran's weight, getting down about a dozen pounds since his last fight, and how working all that weight off and coming in light that he would get dehydrated and he would be weak after the 4th round. Instead, Camacho's weight of 160, more than Duran, is becoming more of the story. Perhaps Hector, after a quick start, getting a little sluggish carrying around that weight.
Oh, yeah. Who looks like the 34-year-old fighter and the 45-year-old fighter now? So true.
Duran exhibiting a little more confidence now. He was flustered the first couple of rounds.
He was very frustrated the first couple of rounds. Duran, and now he's very comfortable here. I tell you, his upper body movement is pretty good too. His reflexes are pretty sharp at this weight.
If you did not know he was 45, what age do you think he would be? 43?
44. About your age, Al.
No. He'd be at least, he looks at least 30.
What a setup. What a setup that was. He said, Duran said, that Camacho's fight plan, he'll try to hurt me early. When he realizes he can't hurt me, then he'll start running around. And that's just what happened. Said if he wants to hit me, he'll have to stand flat-footed. That's when I can connect. Roberto Duran read this fight well.
Okay, para, okay. Let's have some fun with him now. Let's start boxing and box his ears up. That eye is in great shape, all right? Nothing to worry about.
Jesse Reed sees Camacho getting too serious here and getting worried.
Good. Now look, you can even do a little more.
Trying to lighten it up in the corner.
Shake and bake with him. Start looking real good in there. Make this guy look like a fool.
The settling influence on Hector Camacho
is
his wife Amy.
Okay? You got the legs,
and you can see the concern on her face.
Getting her money's worth out of that gum, and he is. She is extremely nervous.
I like it. All right? He got his head right up in the
victory
air.
sign.
Get his head up in the air and keep popping.
But Hector has his hands full.
You look good. Keep it up now. Keep up the show. Be a showman. Let's win this thing with some real class. All right? Real class.
They want him to play. Jesse Reed wants him to play now. This is why he is struggling so much. There's a good right hand from Duran. Duran is hitting the mark. Camacho is now trying to punch hard, but he can't really match the power of Duran, and Duran is going to win the battle on the inside. As Reed is wanting him to settle down, to play.
As Bill McAtee had mentioned earlier, two fighters past their prime, their better days, but certainly relatively what looks to be a very competitive and interesting, maybe even a compelling fight before it's over.
Absolutely. This fight is as good as fighters that are much younger.
What's made the difference, particularly with Duran has come down in weight, and he's giving himself adequate time to get in the best shape and also take that kind of weight off him. Good right hands by Duran. He is drilling the body of Camacho. Those shots hurt.
This is control. The object of boxing is to make the other man do what you want him to do.
Look how relaxed Duran is.
This world being whipped into a frenzy.
Look how relaxed Duran is. He's not exerting himself. When he's inside, he puts the punches together. Body shot once again.
Duran trying to show that the hands of time not closing in on the hands of stone.
The right hand is starting to find his target now.
Well, when Roberto Duran fights like this, he's awesome.
That right hand seemed to buckle Camacho.
Staggering right hand high on the forehead.
You see so less movement from Camacho, and that is strictly due to those body shots.
Yeah, kill the body, the head will fall.
And shots that Hector Camacho not used to over the last 2 years.
Camacho is just a sitting target with those right hands of Duran.
Yeah, look at that work on the inside.
Body shots every time he's there.
Free.
Camacho reeling off 15 straight wins, but very carefully selected opponents. playing it safe for the most part against opponents who are aggressive but not effective, and opponents without power. He's feeling the power tonight for the first time since he was in the ring against Felix Trinidad in January of '94. This is scheduled for 12 rounds. And at this point, it's Duran who looks like the 34-year-old, and Camacho who looks like the 45-year-old.
No doubt.
And what that does is gives him a play. Don't even let him have anything in this fight. Take everything away from him. Now, you got the speed, and you've got the conditioning. Start using it. And use your angles, okay? Give me the end swell. No.
Pam, pam, pam. Mete las combinaciones. Tú puedes. Okay.
All right, I want a good round this round. I want to have some fun, all right? I want to see you get in there like you did.
Meta, se le está comiendo la derecha, pero no le mete el gancho. Métesela. Ok. Vamos bien. Vamos a pelear ahora, Roberto, porque él está listo. Él es mejor que nosotros, acuérdate eso. Tú eres mejor que él. Entonces, tú eres jefe. Vamos.
Don't worry about it. You're doing fine. You're doing real good. Just keep coming in on him.
Hector Martinez, Luis Walter, Armando Vargas over there.
Roberto Duran is not even breathing hard. Hector Camacho looks as if he has already gone 12 rounds.
Yeah, carrying the extra weight, and he has a tiger in front of him.
Duran getting down in weight, 157 for tonight. He says that has been his best weight. And he's trying to back up the statement now after the fights against Pazienza, the two defeats, that he found out he just couldn't fight it that weight. He was too sluggish. So he's disregarding the age factor and just blaming it on the weight. But he has been 158 for the last 3 weeks, so he has maintained this kind of weight. You know, against Pazienza, he weighed in the last fight at 167. But by the time he was in the ring, he was in the mid-170s at least. So he's taking about 20 pounds off.
And perhaps he's right. He's been under the care of a physician in Panama, and a physician helped him get down in weight.
And nutritionist. Remember, Duran is the 4-1 underdog coming into this fight. Looking for victory number 98. Said he wanted to go to 100. That's wins, not years. And it appeared after the Pazienza fights that he really wouldn't be around long enough. But right now, of what we have seen, win or lose, you know Roberto Duran will be around for some more. This is not his last hurrah.
Oh, yeah, after this showing, too. Remember what Jesse Reed told Camacho between rounds? He said, get out there and have some fun. I want you to box. I want you to use that jab. I want you to stay on the outside. This is not the fight that Reed was hoping for from Camacho. Camacho staying on the inside, slugging with Duran. Not only that, he's tying up. See, pulling and pushing with Duran.
And that wears you down, too. The pushing, the holding, the grabbing, the wrestling. Camacho does not want to do this on his leg. Good shot to the midsection of Duran.
Oh, they hurt.
Good shot, good shot.
They will hurt tomorrow and the next day.
Some of the fights in which we've watched Duran the last couple of years, he knew what he wanted to do in the ring, but the reflexes just would not cooperate. Cooperating a little more here tonight.
Yeah, I think the reflexes are there. There's a good reflexive straight left from Hector Camacho. Camacho needs more of those. He's allowing for Duran to get out. He's not punching. You'll hear it from Jesse Reed.
Duran told his corner before he sat down, I feel strong.
When you are moving, when you get into a clinch, start moving your hands on it. Just watching the other thing, you got to get that
A los portugueses están aquí. Todo Panamá está ahí contigo, Roberto.
Everybody in Panama is with you, Roberto. Everybody.
Está bien.
You're doing very good. You're winning this fight.
Vamos. No le dé la iniciativa a él.
You're killing him. Don't worry about it.
Por eso, está peor. Se está peleando.
He's doing a lot worse off than you expect.
Pam, míralo. Está mejor que él. Vamos.
You're doing better than him. You're better than him.
Ahora sí, ¿cómo me sientes?
How do you feel?
Perfecto, vámonos.
I feel good. Strong. Very strong.
Ahí está, Roberto. Vamos.
Okay, you're ready, Roberto.
Métele mano a este bobo.
Go ahead and hit him some more.
Round number 8 in the scheduled 12-round middleweight bout. The legendary Roberto Duran, former 4-time world champion Hector Camacho, former 3-time world champion, meeting for the first time in their illustrious careers. The 63rd fight in the career of Camacho, number 109 for the timeless Roberto Duran.
Oh, yeah.
Who may be tacking on a handful of fights
very
after
strong.
this performance.
He grew up a shoeshine boy from the slums of Panama. No amateur fights. Turned pro at 15.
Shot Duran. You know, I observed Duran sitting in his corner. He did not look fatigued at all. He looked rather fresh to me.
Not breathing hard. And you look at Camacho. It looks like he can't wait to hear that final bell. Camacho even holding on to the ropes. Al Albert along with the champs. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sean O'Grady. The right by Duran.
Good right hand. That dropped Camacho.
Oh, the kid is tough. Both of the kids, I guess I should say.
Those are the punches. This is a particular combination I've seen where Duran throws have been effective. The left hook and the right uppercut.
Just the left and the right is all that Camacho has to watch out for. There's a good uppercut from Hector.
See, Camacho can't hurt Duran. That's why Duran is apt to keep them going straight for him. There's a little smirk on Duran's face.
Yeah, Duran's smothering him without being fearful of attacking because of these light punches from Camacho. And Camacho using his shots going backwards. A smile from Duran. This is right where Duran wanted to be in this fight. I think Camacho came out strong the first couple of rounds, but it's been the hands of stone ever since about the 3rd or 4th round. And this crowd is only going to inspire Duran.
For Duran to tire in the later rounds, he better look for something else to take advantage.
Okay, break. Cuéntalo. Break, mentira.
Duran gaining in confidence with each round. Turning back the clock tonight against Camacho.
The momentum has changed, Al. I see Duran becoming more and more confident. I see Camacho is really becoming frustrated and creating a defeatist mentality.
He is no longer alive in the ring. The energy has been sapped from Camacho.
Well, this is why. Here, that right hand, a beautiful right hand thrown by Roberto Duran. Duran measured that right hand. He kept the jab in Camacho's face. And here, he's trying to measure and then a straight right hand. Duran has gotten Camacho's attention.
Jesse Reed.
That jab looks great when you pump 2 and 3. Keep popping. Make him reach for you.
With the positive reinforcement in what has been a negative experience the last 6 rounds for Camacho. Ray, when you fought Roberto Duran, he was known for that relentless pressure, the hot pursuit. seeing him over the last few years, you know that was gone. He's now trying to walk down his opponent, look for those openings, picking his spots, but he has been in pursuit tonight, and Camacho has allowed him to do that.
He's been aggressive. The first couple of rounds was tough going for Roberto Duran. He couldn't really find the balance, and also he couldn't find the space. But all of a sudden now, Duran, he's doing what he wants to do here. And I think, Albert, this is all a result of those body attacks that Duran has hit Camacho with.
When you think of those body shots, in your mind, when were those developed by Duran? He was, did you see them even happening when he was giving away the first 2 rounds?
Not really. Again, he couldn't really get set. But all of a sudden now he's found his mark.
Sean O'Grady is now in the Camacho corner. Champ Jesse Reed is trying to keep that positive spin for Hector Camacho, but he really has to be worried now.
Concern. No, it's a voice of confidence. I feel Hector's winning this fight big time, but we're not letting him off the hook. We're going to win this fight and be impressive in it. Hector's usually known as a runner. He's fighting this man and running in boxing.
Has he been hurt at all in this fight?
Never been hurt once.
What is the biggest problem with Duran at this point?
I think the biggest problem is that Duran can't find him, and he's mad, and he's upset about it.
How close do you think this fight is?
The fight is not close.
Not close at all?
No.
Hector's way ahead on your card.
Yes, he is.
Okay, what are the next few rounds going to hold?
Just doing the same thing we're doing. We want to beat this man down, and not only just beat him, but beat him bad.
What do you mean by beat him? How are you going to give me some strategy here? What do you mean?
The strategy is we're beating him in his own game and at the same time applying our boxing skills and speed.
I hear you asking for more jabs and more movement from him. Why?
I want to make sure he don't get caught with a right hand and get hurt.
No joke. How about on the inside? Is Hector strong enough for Duran?
He's sure showing it. Duran's not doing anything inside.
You're getting a good workout over here yourself. All right.
I want to win this fight.
Jesse Reed may win this fight. He may get the decision. Back over to Al.
Thank you.
All right, John. Well, Jesse Reed has always been on the money, but we're not exactly seeing it the same way here at ringside.
I don't see it that way. I think it's a very close fight. I think Duran has really come on strong, and it's pretty much anyone's fight.
Rounds 10, 11, and 12 over the horizon. And Hector Camacho said that Duran, once he got by the 4th round, stamina would be gone. He'd have his tongue hanging out of his mouth.
Look at the right hand
for
again.
The taking.
The right hand by Duran. Found his mark once again.
Got that serious haircut. Roberto Duran for this fight, down to 157.
Respira fuerte, respira fuerte. Respira fuerte. Al agua, al agua, al agua.
All they're telling him right now is to give him water, let him breathe. All the technical stuff in the corner only, that's all.
Tú estás bien.
How do you feel?
Para 15 rounds, Roberto.
You could go 15 rounds.
Entonces, vamos a meterle mano.
All right, start throwing some punches at him now.
Okay.
You only have 3 more rounds, the other cornerman says.
Oh, yeah, this is a veteran fighter who has been 15 rounds on numerous occasions. How much easier it must be for him, Ray, to only have to go 12 rounds.
Well, the right hand finds the mark.
Oh, yeah. And that is a stunning right hand. It freezes you in your tracks. A punch like that takes all the steam out of you, just drains you as a fighter. Just makes you wilt.
Well, this is only the 829th round.
Oh, is that all?
In the career of Roberto Duran, compared to a mere 486 for Hector Camacho.
You know, Al, I said earlier, it's anyone's fight, but I see Duran winning this fight. I see Duran being ahead on points.
Sean, your reaction to Jesse Reed in the corner, thinking that Camacho was way in front.
Well, I'm concerned only because I don't believe Camacho is way in front. However, there are judges who give more credence to the defensive fighters as opposed to the offense. Everybody judges the fight differently, and the way that I have it judged, I think Duran has been putting the pressure on. I think he has landed the more establishing punches. I think he's had Camacho hurt on several occasions. I think he is controlling the tempo and the pace in this match. Judges are looking for 4 things: effective aggressiveness, clean punches, defense, and ring generalship.
I think that Camacho is rather surprised at the onslaught of Roberto Duran's punches, Duran's sharpness, and his speed.
Oh, no doubt.
And the accuracy of his punches.
No doubt. No doubt. Coming into this fight, he felt like Duran was going to fade by the 4th round. He said his tongue will be hanging out. Then I'll have my opportunities. But he said, Duran's a cagey veteran.
I think what they expected to see from Roberto Duran is a guy who will be sluggish, totally no rhythm at all. But here's Duran doing combinations to the body, coming up to the head with the right hand.
Up and down from Duran. Yeah, that's exactly. I agree with you, Ray. He thought that he was going to see the Duran that we've seen recently, the Duran that Vinny Pazienza saw.
And we are not seeing that. We've seen a Duran who is really in there and pushing the fight, making the fight, and throwing the best combinations.
Yeah, great fighters like Ray Dominguez, Wilbur Garst, Ron Martinez, fighters that he was not really 100% focused for. He said he needs opponents that make him get up for fights, and this is a fight that he's certainly up for.
Check in now with John Saraceno. John?
Richard Giacchetti used to train both Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. Based on what you saw tonight, what would happen in a rematch between Douglas and Tyson, or is it too early to tell?
Well, I like Douglas tonight on a couple of things. His hand speed was real good. His jab was excellent tonight, but I have to see better opponents in front of him to really analyze how his conditioning is. He still has to tone down a lot of his body. It's not the Tyson that I trained 7-8 years ago. I mean, Buster Douglas, excuse me, I trained both men. But Mike now is ahead of the game because since he's been out, he's had 3 fights. He's going into his 4th fight. I'd like to see Buster with a little better opponents, a couple more fights. And I'm the only person that said before that Buster Douglas would beat Mike Tyson.
Al, back to you.
All right, Sean O'Grady, who was before tonight's fight, said Buster Douglas would also beat Tony La Rosa. And you were right on.
Hey, I can pick them all.
Well, the odds maker said that Hector Camacho would beat Roberto Duran. Favorite 4-1 going in. And as we approach round number 11 here, starting it at the Trump Taj Mahal.
If you look at the body of Camacho, you see those red whelps on his body, which indicates those shots are doing some damage here.
Amy Camacho with advice to Hector. Wants him to go to the uppercut.
Yeah, she understands this fight and the significance of a win over Roberto Duran.
She also sees what's happening around that left eye of Hector Camacho. That has been the target of the Duran right and is swelling.
See, Camacho can't win here. This is not his fight. This is not. He can't outdo Duran inside. He should be outside. But apparently the body shots have slowed him down tremendously.
It appears as if Hector's not going to get any fresher in the last 4.5 minutes of this fight.
No, not at all. However, as you know, Ray, a lot of the old-time veteran trainers tell their fighters, if you're going to take a break, do it that round before last so that you can really pour it on in the end. But I don't think that Camacho has the rounds to waste.
That's right. All the makings of a distance fight, and Camacho can't give away a round.
And how close are each one of these rounds? I know on my card I have Duran ahead, but there's a lot of those rounds that could have been called for Camacho, depending on what kind of judge you are.
If you look at Duran, and like right here, Duran is like directly in front of Camacho. So if Camacho was fresh, you probably see some uppercuts, but apparently Camacho is definitely fatigued here. I mean, look at Duran's chin right there in front of Camacho.
Yeah, but so are his fists. Only one problem there. Oh, Hector's looking for that bell.
I give Duran credit. Whenever he's inside, he throws punches. He's throwing something to the body.
And whenever he's backed into a corner like he was coming into this fight, they say his career's over. He fights. Both of them now just trying to build up the points.
Upset in the making for the 45-year-old Roberto Duran. He's been saying that every round since the fourth. Have some fun. It doesn't look as if it's much fun for Hector Camacho. He has not done what he said he would. He has not backed up his talk.
This is macho time. Let's finish this last round big. Okay? Let's finish it big.
Esto de nosotros ya, campeón. Okay? Falta. Véase eso. Vámonos para encima.
Duran's corner telling him they have Duran in front. He's cornered by a couple of rounds. Duran says, all right, go for my face. Macho Camacho says, I don't want to have to say I lost to my grandfather. And Roberto Duran says, if I lose to Camacho, then I should retire.
It's been a very good performance by Roberto Duran.
Yeah, no matter who wins, I'm impressed with Duran's performance tonight. He turned the clock back.
He nullified Camacho's offense. Duran's defense has been great. His hand speed has been great. His whole tactics, the approach to the body has worked tremendously.
Took Duran a couple of rounds to get into it.
And it was a fast start for Camacho. The first two he came out and blistered Roberto Duran. But since that third round, a big turning point in this fight, I think it's been Duran pressing the action, keeping the punches coming, working downstairs to the body. There's a left hand to the hip. Camacho. And Camacho looking for that final bell.
Well, perhaps the prophetic words we had talked about earlier tonight when John Saraceno was talking to Camacho in the locker room, and Camacho already looking ahead to the money he's going to make if he fights Whitaker, maybe De La Hoya, maybe Sugar Ray Leonard, which was, of course, deflected immediately by Ray here at ringside, instead of thinking about the task at hand tonight.
Yeah, but a lot of options for him open up now.
For Duran.
Yes,
not Camacho.
Win, lose, or draw.
I mean, Camacho could not hurt Duran at all. If anything, Duran was able to stagger Camacho with some shots.
How many times has Roberto Duran's career looked like it was over?
Oh, man.
I mean, look at Camacho. He's holding.
Out of 9
He's
rounds.
not punching.
Yep. He's tired. Carrying that extra weight.
Well, he was saying that he's a younger man. He's a fresher man. He's a better fighter. But Duran proved different.
I wouldn't be surprised.
A major point here.
I wouldn't be surprised Duran now wants Vinny Pazienza again.
Yeah. He's found a weight. He's tired of waiting. He's found his weight.
Yeah, can Vinny get down to under 160?
I take my head off to Duran. He got ready. He got mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared for this fight. He's done well.
And Hector Camacho has done well to stay in this fight. He is in the 12th round punching back. They're tough. Yeah.
Roberto Duran saying the hands of time not closing in yet on the hands of stone. Roberto Duran.
Judge Paul Venti scores the bout 117, 111, all to the winner and IBC middleweight champion of the world, Hector Camacho.
Jesse Reed knew what he was talking about, but we are flabbergasted here at ringside, as is Roberto Duran in his corner, very graciously gesturing to the crowd. A shocker from the judges. Duran getting a hand from the crowd. And Sugar Ray, stranger things have happened in boxing, but this seems to be one of the stranger from our vantage point.
Well, I tell you, I don't know the criteria of the scoring system with the judges. I felt Duran was effective. He went to the body. He slowed his man down. You got lucky, man.
Yeah.
You got lucky.
Hector Camacho here at the
you got a gift
at ringside. Sugar Ray may be tempted. A gift indeed for Hector Macho Camacho. And right now you take a look at these two fighters, and the more sellable, marketable fighter appears to be Duran and not Camacho.
Well, Duran proved a lot of critics wrong. He broke the mystique that he was too old and what have you. He was in tremendous shape, and he proved that after the second round, how effective he was.
One judge had it 117, 111.
Again, I don't know the criteria of these scores.
All right, let's try to get some answers straight from the horses' mouths. Into the ring, Sean O'Grady with the fighters.
Hector, when they were talking about that decision, were you worried?
Not really. You know, I thought I outboxed him just the way I wanted to. Ray Leonard show, I want Ray. Yo, Ray, come on, man. Let's have some fun, man. But nevertheless, there was a good build-up to the fight. It was fun. I fought a legend. I want to keep fighting another legend. Ray, he want to do it. He want to keep doing it. He's just talking about high curtains.
Do you think this fight was close at all tonight?
No, it wasn't, but he put a great effort in, and God bless him. I told him, man, you're going to fight me? Get your ass down, you know, look like an athlete. Give me a great fight, even though I'm going to beat you, but I'm going to point you. And he thought he kept saying he's going to knock me out. I said, I don't know box you, baby. That's what I did.
I thought he came in down in weight and looking terrific. You came in at a heavier weight. Did you feel the added pounds?
No, I did, but, you know, the way I fought the fight, you know, I was outboxing him, kept moving. I could look more effective, you know, on my legs. But, you know, the tempo of the fight went fine. And it made it look even. It made it look a fight. It made it very interesting.
Did he ever hurt you?
No, we're not talking.
Mira, lo único que tengo que decir que tú sabes que ganó esta pelea.
Louis Lucubas, Louis, can we talk to Roberto for a moment? How did he have this fight scored?
¿Cómo tú tenías esta pelea?
Él no me ganó a mí. A mí me ganaron todos los jueces, los árbitros, todo el mundo. Pero él no me ganó a mí.
He didn't beat me. You know who beat me, Sean. The judges beat me.
Yeah, I thought a major turning point back in that third, fourth round. How did you see this fight, and when did you turn it on?
¿Cuándo tuviste la pelea cambiar para ti?
Ya en el quinto asalto en adelante comencé a coger fuerza en los brazos.
After the fifth round, I started picking up strength, and I started being the only man in the ring.
How many of the 12 you think you won? You don't even think...
¿Cuántos asaltos tú crees que ganaste?
Yo por lo menos gané 7.
You won at least 7.
This was a tremendous showing for you. This is a Roberto Duran that we have not seen in some time. With this fight behind you, any idea what you want to do next?
Dice que fue tremenda pelea para ti, enseñaste tremenda cosa. ¿Qué es lo que tú quieres hacer ahora?
No, lo que me faltó fue un poquito más de condiciones y un poquito más de fuerza en los brazos, pero él no me ganó a mí. Esta pelea debe ser empate por lo menos.
He says the worst thing this could have been was a draw, you know. And I'll tell you right now, Camacho had any pride at all, he'd give us a rematch, okay? Because the fans saw, the fans, Mike Acre should know this should be a rematch, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, Roberto Duran won this fight. All the fans saw him win. The judges beat us.
Did Roberto say all that, Louis?
Roberto, tú lo dijiste todo lo que yo dije, ¿verdad? Yes, he said that.
Oh, yes, he said
it now.
Okay, he said, did he ever hurt? Did he ever hurt you?
Hey,
Mike Hector, your promoter.
No question. There's no question we'll do a rematch with this fight.
Ask him if Hector ever hurt him.
¿Alguna vez te puso Camacho mal a ti?
No.
Never.
Well, what do you do at this point?
Yes, you heard it. We're going to rematch.
Okay. Is that set?
Yeah, well, Mike Hector just sets a rematch. Done.
Next time we're in good, more condition.
This time he's going to get in better condition.
You were in pretty good condition this time.
Well, he won the fight. That's the reason he was in good condition.
Okay. All right. Al, he wants another fight with Hector Camacho. Roberto Duran tonight turned back the hands of stone. I thought he did a terrific job. Back over to Al.
I'd like to thank all the Panamanian people.
All right, and Ray, I think if Roberto had his choice for a rematch, he'd like to have it right now.
I think he deserves that. He put up an incredible performance. He proved a lot of people wrong. He turned back the hands of time. He got in shape and gave Camacho a good fight.
All right, now Camacho came over here, gave you a little business. You said to him, you got a gift. You saw the face of Macho Camacho in the second half of the fight. You saw it just now, and you could tell the relief on his face that indeed the gift came his way. Christmas came early for the Macho Man.
That is absolutely correct. He received a gift.
Man is ready.